Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to cut through all that information noise and just give you the pure gold, the stuff you really need to know.
That's right.
And today, we are diving deep into a really surprising source text. It's arguably foundational in a lot of self-help thinking, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, isn't it? Because it's not what you might expect. It's not really about philosophy or, rah-rah motivation.
Right.
Wattles is very clear. He says this is a pragmatical, not philosophical manual, straight up. It's for people who want wealth, like now, and are willing to just accept his scientific conclusions. Well, basically on faith.
On faith, yeah, that's the picker, isn't it? It's like spiritual utilitarianism.
Totally.
Don't worry if the theory's true. Just do the steps, get rich, then maybe debate the metaphysics. But starting with accepting it on faith, that's a big hurdle.
It is. It really is. But that leap, that's what lets him make this incredibly audacious promise. He says it's an exact science and failure is impossible.
Like physics or something.
Exactly. Governed by laws just as precise.
Okay. So let's unpack this. Our mission today, pull apart the core theory. He uses this idea called monism and then really dissect this counterintuitive certain way.
Yeah.
He says is guaranteed to make you rich.
Sounds good.
So where does he start? Well, with a bang, really.
Yeah.
He challenges conventional morality straight off the bat. He argues wanting to be rich isn't just okay, it's necessary, even moral.
Yeah, that's the provocative part. His argument is functional. It's about human potential. He basically says you can't live a really complete or successful life unless you're rich.
Why, though?
Because, he argues, full development needs material stuff. To develop your mind, you need books, travel, maybe just some quiet space to think, which poverty often denies you.
So it connects the right to life directly to the means for, like, full self-expression.
Exactly. He says the right to life implies the right to freely use everything needed for your fullest mental, spiritual, and physical unfoldment. So wanting a richer, fuller life, that's praiseworthy. And here's the flip. Being satisfied with less than you could enjoy, he calls that sinful, or at least abnormal.
Sinful? Wow.
Yeah. He connects poverty to denying your body, mind, and soul. He even brings up love, says poverty denies love's expression because love finds expression in giving. And, well, you need things to give.
Okay, that definitely reframes it. It's not about greed. In his view, it's about obligation to yourself.
Right. An obligation to develop fully.
And this whole system, this justification, it's rooted in that philosophical idea you mentioned. One is all and all is one.
Yes, monism, the idea that everything comes from one single unified thinking substance. Wattles actually traces this idea back through Hindu thought, Western guys like Spinoza, Emerson.
So the whole certain way depends on believing in this
Yeah.
this single, intelligent, infinite source.
Pretty much. That's the foundation. Okay, so let's get into the science part, the laws themselves. Chapter 2 kicks right off. Getting rich is an exact science like algebra or arithmetic. It has rules.
Immutable laws.
Right. And wealth only comes from doing things in a specific, certain way.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me, because he immediately tells us to junk a lot of common beliefs about success. What does he say we need to just forget about?
He knocks down 3 main pillars. First, environment. It's not your location or industry.
How does he figure that?
Well, he just points out that rich and poor people live side by side. Same town, same business sometimes. If environment was key, success would be clustered, right? But it's not.
Okay, fair enough. What's next?
Second, talent or ability. This one probably surprises people.
Yeah, I think talent helps.
You'd think. But Waddle says, nope. Lots of talented folks are poor, while some with very little talent get rich. He calls the successful rich basically an average lot.
Average.
Yeah.
Ouch. So natural gifts don't matter for this science.
Not for the core process, he argues. And third, maybe the most controversial, it's not thrift or saving.
Wait, saving money is bad.
Not exactly bad, but he specifically says many very parsimonious people, tightwads, stay poor, while free spenders often get rich.
Huh.
He's arguing it's your mindset, your method of action, that's way more important than just hoarding pennies.
So if environment, talent, and saving aren't the keys, his logic leads where?
To the idea that if anyone else in your town doing what you do or something else can get rich, then so can you. You just need to learn this certain way.
It's purely methodological.
Exactly. And that ties into the next big hurdle he tackles. the idea of scarcity, that opportunity is limited or
Right,
monopolized.
all the good ideas are taken
Yeah.
argument.
He insists opportunity is not monopolized. He talks about the visible supply of stuff being huge, but the invisible supply, this formless substance, is truly infinite.
Ah, the formless substance again. He uses that building example, right?
Yeah, the one about building a palace the size of the U.S. Capitol for every family on Earth, just from materials available in the U.S. alone. It's a bit hyperbolic, maybe, but his point is clear.
The issue isn't lack of stuff, it's lack of connection to the source of stuff.
Precisely. Lack of engaging the scientific process to create new forms from the formless.
Okay, so that brings us right to the heart of it, this formless substance or thinking stuff.
Yeah.
This is the big leap of faith, right?
This is it. The absolute core you have to accept.
Let's break it down then.
Hmm.
If you accept this, what are the three fundamental propositions you must believe?
Okay, first, there is one original formless substance, stuff, from which everything is made. And crucially, it's thinking stuff. It's intelligent, alive, in a sense.
Okay, like a universal mind. Proposition 2.
Second, a thought held in this thinking substance actually produces the form of the thought. So if the substance thinks tree, a tree eventually manifests.
Okay, so where do we fit in? So the third one.
Third one's the game changer. Man can form things in his thought. And by impressing his thought, his clear mental picture onto this formless substance, he can cause the thing he thinks about to be created, to come into physical reality.
Wow, okay, so we're not just passive observers. We're like co-creators within this universal mind.
Individual thinking centers, yeah. But he immediately warns, using this power means thinking in a certain way.
Which is?
Thinking truth, which he defines as abundance, potential, health, regardless of current appearances like poverty or sickness.
That sounds hard.
He calls it the hardest work in the world. Seriously. Holding that vision of wealth when you're broke, health when you're sick. That sustained, focused, consecutive thought, that's where most people apparently fail.
Right, because reality keeps shouting otherwise.
Exactly. You have to overpower appearance with thought. And this idea of creative thought, it leads directly to a really critical ethical point he makes. The need to shift from the competitive mind to the creative mind.
Okay, creative versus competitive. Why is that distinction so vital in his system?
Because competition, thinking competitively, fundamentally misunderstands the nature of the formless substance. If the source is infinite, why compete?
Competition implies scarcity.
Precisely. You're acting as if there's a limited pie. But the intelligent substance, he says, is always striving for more life for all. It wants expansion. So it'll make new things for you, but it will not take things away from someone else and give them to you.
Ah, I see. So if you're thinking about how to beat someone else or worried about monopolies,
You've just shut off your connection to the creative power. You're operating on the plane of limits. It's very blunt. Riches acquired competitively, they're never satisfactory and permanent.
okay, so how do you stay on the creative plane? Is there a rule?
Yes. A moral mandate, really. You must always give every person more in use value than you take from them in cash value.
Use value versus cash value. Explain that.
If you sell something, say a tool for $10, that tool has to provide the buyer with more than $10 worth of benefit, efficiency, or increase in their life. Every single transaction has to add to the life of the world.
So you're contributing to overall abundance, not just shuffling existing wealth around.
Exactly. That keeps you aligned with the creative force.
Okay, so we have the philosophy, the ethics. Let's get practical. How does someone actually do this? Combine the mental stuff with, actual action.
Right, because thinking alone isn't enough.
The first mental piece, chapter 7, is gratitude. That seems unexpected as a first step for getting rich. Why gratitude?
He sees it as the key to maintaining the connection. Gratitude tunes your mind to the all, to abundance. It stops you from dwelling on lack or competition.
Like a mental frequency thing?
Sort of, yeah. It keeps the channel open. He even mentions Jesus constantly saying, "I thank thee, Father, that thou hearest me," framing it as a psychological tool to stay connected to the source.
Interesting. Okay, gratitude first, then what?
Then comes the clear mental picture, the vision, and he's really strict about this. No vague desires for more money.
So what does it require? Specifics.
Absolute specifics, the exact house, the specific business results, the particular influence you want, and crucially, you hold this picture with unwavering faith that the thing is already yours.
Already yours.
Yeah.
Even though it's not.
Mentally, yes. You have to live in the new house mentally, as he puts it, even while you're still in the old one. Doubt, vagueness, they kill the process.
Okay, unwavering faith in a specific vision.
Yeah.
That leads to the role of the will. Right. Chapter 9. There's another warning here.
A big one. You must only use your willpower on yourself.
Not on other people.
Absolutely not. Don't try to mentally force clients or your boss or circumstances. Waddle says that's basically mental robbery, same as physical force.
So what do you use will for?
To compel yourself, to make yourself think the right thoughts, hold the vision consistently, and fend off doubt and fear the moment they creep in. It's about mental discipline, directed inward.
Got it. Okay, so mental house in order. Gratitude, vision, faith, willpower focused inward. Now, action. Chapters 11 and 12. You can't just sit and think, right?
Nope. Thought directs the energy, but action is the channel it flows through. You have to act, and crucially, you have to act now.
Now. Not wait for the perfect opportunity.
No waiting. Act in your current job, your current situation. Don't postpone action waiting for a better environment. Your present actions are what will create the better environment.
Okay, act now. But how? Just busy work.
No, not busy work. The key is efficiency. You need to do all that you can reasonably do that day. But more importantly, do each separate act in an efficient manner.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. But the efficiency doesn't just come from being skilled, it comes from the mindset behind the action.
How so?
Every single act, even mundane stuff, has to be done efficiently by holding your vision and pouring the power of your faith and purpose into that act while you're doing it.
So answering an email becomes a powerful act.
If you do it with the mindset of the advancing man, yes, it's infused with creative purpose.
Which brings us to that final concept.
Yeah.
The advancing man from chapter 14. What's this impression of increase?
It's the feeling you project. Since everyone, deep down, wants more life, more growth, more increase, they are instinctively drawn to people who radiate that quality.
So you have to embody advancement.
Yes. Every interaction, handshake, conversation, sale should leave the other person feeling like they've gained something, like they're moving forward to just by interacting with you. Your success becomes magnetic.
And that applies to everyone. Employees, professionals, business owners.
Everyone. You project increase, you attract the people and resources needed for your vision. So putting it all together, the whole certain way is basically clear vision, plus fixed purpose, plus unwavering faith, plus deep gratitude, plus efficient action right now.
That's the formula. And he's adamant, isn't he, that if you fail, it's not the system, it's you.
Yeah, failure comes from breaking one of those links. Lack of faith, letting doubt creep in, not acting efficiently, slipping into competitive thought.
It's a demanding internal process.
Incredibly demanding. Which leads to, I think, the final provocative thought from the text. Waddles flat out says that the effort required to think what you want to think.
To hold the thought of wealth when you see poverty.
Or health when you feel sick. That mental work, he says, is the greatest labor man can perform.
So, the real challenge isn't the doing, it's the thinking. The constant mental effort to maintain that state of truth regardless of appearances.
Exactly. That's the ultimate test. Can you sustain that mental posture? That's the core challenge Waddles leaves you with.